I have to drive this truck. Okay, so, back in the day I was a truck driver. The company had a few trucks that were made for different jobs. Depending on the job you had to deliver determined the truck you drove. So, it was not too uncommon to drive 3 different trucks in one day. The company was piss poor on maintenance of the vehicles. Over the years with them I received a few fines for things like no inspection and stuff like that. Even though I received the fine, the company would pay the fine. No harm, no foul. Finally, our big truck really started to go downhill. It got to the point where it was barely running and needed a ton of repairs costing thousands to fix. I told the company I refused to drive the truck as it was an accident waiting to happen. Well, this lasted a week and then they said that I needed to drive the truck for one delivery. Unfortunately, I agreed out of a need to be a team player and service my customer. The drive was horrible. It was leaving a trail of smoke 10 feet high as I drove down the highway. I knew I was in trouble when they loaded a case of motor oil in the cab for me to fill the engine if needed. On the way there cars behind me were turning on their high beams to see because of the smoke trail I was leaving. Then as the sun finally came up, people were pulling up next to me on the highway, honking, and giving me the finger. I found out so much liquid oil was coming out the exhaust that oil was landing on the vehicles behind me. It was only a 50-mile round trip and the truck lost 24 quarts of oil and almost a tank of fuel. So, I told them I would not drive the truck till it's fixed. As a truck driver you are required to do a pre-trip inspection of the vehicle prior to driving every day. You mark down the defects and there is room for notes in the logbook. 1 copy stays in the truck and 1 copy goes to the company. There's a 3rd copy that goes to DOT if requested. I made sure to fill this out fully every time I drove this truck. I also made a separate list, mostly as a note for myself covering things that I thought was important but not necessarily a part of the pre-trip inspection. The next day I came in and found the truck fully loaded. I told them I was not driving the truck. They said, well, you have to. After a quick thought I said okay, malicious compliance. I pulled out of the lot. At the traffic light I'd make a left to head to the job, however I was out of fuel, so I had to turn right to get to the gas station to fuel up. Then backtrack to head to the job. And yes, I meant gas. It was a 33 kLb truck with a gas engine. Well, DOT was set up on the other side of the road just before the gas station.